Greetings and well met. Welcome to Stories by the Fireside. I'm your host and narrator, Hailstorm, and today I have yet another one of these thought videos. And it's a little bit late today. But it is still today, at least during my time. This week has been very busy. Very, very busy, and a lot of things have happened in it. I was out of the house, first and foremost, and a lot of things happened on that journey, and it was a relatively short journey. It was just for a couple of days, just literally one night in a hotel. But it has taken a lot out of me this week. A lot. I am very, very tired. And I am also very, very emotional, for a lot of reasons. I won't go into detail because it's not important. The only thing that's important is how I'm feeling right now, and right now I'm just super tired. And super emotional, and on the verge of tears a lot of the time, but that's just the way that my life generally is. I suppose I could use this segment to talk a little bit about myself, what kind of person I am, and the way I view the world, because that is taking up a lot of my time right now, and that's one of the reasons why my voice perhaps doesn't sound like it used to, well, like it's supposed to, because I'm tired. I am fine, just for the record. I am perfectly okay, because I'm home, and I'm surrounded by friends and family. I have easy access to both friends and family, and I am home. That is the most important part. I am home, and I am surrounded by four walls that I love and know. So, I have autism. I have what used to be called Asperger's syndrome, and I have what used to be called ADD as well, attention deficit disorder. And it is something of a cocktail. It has resulted in me seeing things, experiencing things a little more sharply than other people might. I'm not entirely sure because I don't know how other people experience things as well. But I know the concept of turning the volume too loudly and the music starts to distort. That is how it feels to me on a lot of days. It feels like you turn the volume knob too high and the speaker distorts the music. That is what it feels like to me. So, that is the only analogy that makes sense at any rate. And this means that everything I feel is too much a lot of the time. It's too loudly, it's too warm, it's too bright. And oftentimes I just wish I could just turn it down a little bit so it's more manageable, and I have tools for that, like sunglasses and earbuds or a headset, that kind of thing. And of course a fan at my home, which is almost never turned off unless it's really, really cold. And that rarely happens where I live because it's a very temperate climate. So, everything I feel from my physical state to my emotional state is heightened. It's not worse. I wouldn't say that. It's not a bad thing overall, I think. Because to quote a song I kinda like, when it's going good, it's going great. But when it's bad, it's awful. So, So, I have to take the good with the bad, and the bad with the good. Because I would prefer to feel both extremes on one end of the spectrum to the other than not feel anything at all, because I've tried that as well. I have had a depression, like so many other people. And to not feel anything at all is horrific. I would rather have my extremes of extreme happiness, extreme excitedness, to extreme sadness and extreme anger, both of which can last for a long, long time, and often has me repeating sentences and repeating things because I need to get it out of my system so I can move on. Because my brain kind of makes a feedback loop, if you will, and that can be really, really good when I'm feeling elated and excited and happy, because then the feedback loop just continues and I get constant feedback of happiness, and the happy drugs just go nuts in my system, and I'm so happy and nothing can get me off my perch, and I can do anything in the world, and I can do all the things, and I have more energy, and I feel so great. But it can also be complete hell when something really bad happens, and my brain just runs around in circles around itself, completely devolving into complete panic and sadness and anger and frustration, and I keep crying, and I get physical tics because I don't know how to get it out of my system so I can move on, because it's frustrating me that I keep running around in this circle, and I feel awful, and nobody wants to feel awful forever, but it feels that way, and it feels like the world is ending. It's exhausting. It's very exhausting every time it happens. It has gotten better with the years. It really has. But it's exhausting. It's very, very exhausting. And that's why I'm exhausted right now, because of this emotional roller coaster. But that's just the way my life is. And it's one of the reasons why I am too exhausted to read aloud sometimes. But I still wanted to make something today. I woke rather late today, which is why this video is only coming out now. Because yesterday I was simply too exhausted to record anything, and I just slept for, 10, 11 hours? Maybe more, I'm not sure, I didn't count them, and I don't really care either. I sleep for as long as I need to until I'm no longer too tired, until I'm capable of getting out of bed and go make something to eat. And that's how it's always been. That's how it's always going to be, because that's my life. That's how it is. And I don't want pity. I don't. I don't want to live any other way. This is just how it is. When it's going good, it's going great, it's going fantastic. I have some of the best moments of inspiration, and they last for so long. And when it's going bad, it's awful. And that's okay. Because adversity breeds inspiration. Adversity breeds forwardness. How to explain it? I'm trying to find the right words for this, because again, I don't have a manuscript this time. I'm just talking to the microphone. I don't have a manuscript. I didn't feel like making one. It might have been better if I had one, but anyway. When you have adversity in your life, you're not stagnating. You have a problem. And when there's a problem, you have to solve it. And problem solving is a great way to engage your mind. So when something bad happens, when something really bad happens and you overcome it, it's one of the greatest feelings in the world. Because you overcame it, and now you know if this is going to happen a second time, you're prepared. You are absolutely prepared. You can take this on, no problem. It can just come at you. Just come at me, bro. Absolutely. No fear. And that's great. That's what people do. And sorry for the background noise. An ambulance just drove by. I'm not going to edit that out if you can hear it, and I'm not going to play it back to see if I can hear it. But adversity is good for you. Problems, conflicts, it's good, even if it's bad, because it's horrible sometimes. It's terrible. It feels like your world might collapse underneath you at any moment. And you're left with nothing but an unfeeling void. But here's the thing. Destruction is necessary if you want to create something new. It's sad, it really is. You mourn things you lost. But there's room to create something more. Now there's room. It's like with wildfires. Wildfires destroy, and it's horrible. A lot of creatures die in those wildfires. A lot of old trees are toppled and burnt to a crisp. A lot of things die in a wildfire. But when it's over, and the ash has settled, and the smoke is gone, you see them. Little sprouts along the ground. Little seeds that were just waiting to sprout out to become big trees, to become bushes and beautiful flowers. They were just waiting. New life. Because life always finds a way. We know that, don't we? Life will always find a way. And when you remove the old, the massive trees were probably sick at the center. And no one knew, no one can see it, who were taking up all the shadow, who were strangling everything below them. Now they're gone, and there's room for new life to sprout, to grow, to become those big trees again. It's going to take time. Healing will always take time, and there will always be scars. But scars are reminders of how far you've come. Scars are reminders of how much you've lived through, and how strong you are, and the fact you're here now. You survived. You are here. It's difficult to see when you're in it. It really is. When it's happening, when this horrible destruction is happening, when the heat of the flame is licking at your heels, at your face, at your hands. It's difficult to see. It's very difficult to see because we live in the now. We don't live tomorrow. We don't live in the tomorrow, the day after that, or next year. We live in the now, the here, the now. So all we see is the flame. But when it's over, then we see it, the green sprouts. Then we see that everything is going to be okay in the end. Everything will be okay in the end, but it's difficult. It always is. And I wanted to say that, at least today, even though I'm quite emotional right now and very tired and my nose is stuffy because I've been crying. But I'm holding on. I'm still holding on. Because I have to. Because I have to. I have to hold on. If I don't hold on, then I'm giving up. And giving up is not in my DNA. I don't do that. I don't do that. I keep going. no matter what, because I have to. And it's okay if you can't. It's okay if you are unable to go on. But I can't do that because it feels like I'm giving up. It feels like a defeat. And I can't abide by that. I can't. I have to keep going. And that is why I'm making this video right now. Because I have to keep going, and this is something that I've been doing for a while now, and it's become a habit for me to try and make something every week. Not for anyone in particular, but myself. I'm making it here and now. For myself. Not you, my dear listener. Just me. Not anyone else, but me. And I think everybody should do that. Live for yourself. Don't live for anybody else. Because if you can live for yourself, you can stand strong and stand tall. And you don't have to rely upon others. But you can still live with others. Live with others, but live for yourself. Yeah, live with others, but live for yourself. That's what you should be doing. It's, yeah, I'm running out of words, and I don't know, maybe I'm a little bit delirious, I'm not sure, but, yeah. It feels dumb. I feel a bit like a dummy now, but maybe this makes sense to somebody. It's just my opinion, and yeah, that's just my opinion. That's all it has. It has no particular value beyond being my opinion, so take it or leave it. But I wanted to put something out there, at least for you guys. Stay strong, in whatever fashion works best for you. Do what you have to do to make it through today, and tomorrow, and the day after that. Do whatever it takes to keep going, to keep walking. Don't back down. Keep going. Live for yourself and live with other people. Be the best you can be every day. And do what it takes to keep going. Because after the wildfire, there will be green sprouts. Because they're just waiting. You just have to give them space. And water. And sunlight, and they will sprout for you too. Okay, I think that's enough for today. Thank you for coming, and may you all have a pleasant day or night, and thank you guys for your support. I appreciate it.